another way, and hopefully this goes better. Yeah, so warm welcome again to a workshop on Creative Commons licenses. Following up and on last week's webinar and on this topic of open education and sharing. I put a link on the webinar page here in the chat. If I can ask for complete honesty and you write in the chat, have you watched this video on Creative Commons licenses? Yes or no? No. Good. Yes. No. Thank you for your honesty. And then a follow-up question. Good. This is what I expected. It's no problem at all. So in the chat or verbally, how much do you know about Creative Commons licenses? I'm sure, like Isabel knows a lot, for instance. No? Okay, sorry. No? Then just briefly, like, okay. So it wouldn't hurt if Pia, if I go through this again then and explain a few things and we just, yep. Yes, good. Thank you. Um, yes. So, yeah. So we start very softly because from my experience, when I talk to colleagues, it has to do with copyright. And as soon as you say copyright, then half of the participants or colleagues will drift away mentally because they think, oh, this is too complicated. I don't want to have to do with this. But it's not that complicated. And we're not talking about copyright. We're talking about today about enabling you and making sure you feel comfortable in reusing, for instance, pictures. And today in this session, I will mainly talk about pictures, but this is the same true for audio files, for textbooks or open educational resources or any kind of material, really. But we talk mainly about pictures, so makes it a little bit more relatable, hopefully. And as always, there's no stupid questions. If there's anything, interrupt me. If you want to comment, ask or anything. So I don't want to be mansplaining. And if you say this is going too slow, then I can speed up. So really what you, so that you can get the most out of it. All right. Just quickly then, as a starter, maybe how many of us have copied and pasted pictures from the internet without without checking if you have the copyright for reusing it? Yep, all guilty. Guilty as charged. And yes, Meran? Or that was just raising the hand that you did also do this?
No, it was just raising the hand.
Yes. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Good. So, and then as an understand what most likely all of us did then, what crime did we commit then? Most likely when we did copy and paste without checking copyright rules. And now I almost gave the answer when. Exactly. We did, yeah, screenshots, really depending a little bit on the context, I suppose. But if you use some reuse and copy and paste, not for private stuff, you have most likely committed copyright infringement, right? We're not supposed to do this. What are we supposed to do if we want to reuse some other person's works? Do you know? Yeah, exactly. Ask for permission to use it. I've done it a few times. Usually it's no problem. But more often than not, we don't do this, and we hope that we don't get caught. And it's not so often that we do get caught. A colleague of mine did get caught, he had to pay 30,000 Swedish crowns, $3,000, because on a research conference he reused the picture, and this person was in the room. So yeah, not and today's session is about just making you a little bit afraid. Yes, Isabel.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
But if I reuse a picture in a conference, but I cite the paper, am I doing copyright infringement?
That really depends on, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm not allowed to give legal advice, but it really depends. And just if you're taking a picture and just putting where you found it, it doesn't help you at all.
Okay, unless it is an open source paper, right?
Exactly. And now I show you how we can feel comfortable and like rest assured that we're not doing this with this session, with the next. With in a 2-3 minute answer for pictures, just quickly three links where you can find pictures which you can reuse, like for your individual reflection spaces, for instance. I show you now 3 links. Some of you might know them, where you can find stuff, and then a little bit longer answer, like maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes about the Creative Commons license. So I share my screen and you see a home page, and you maybe have seen the links. We use them also on the course. So Unsplash, for instance. Any of you have seen Unsplash or visited it before? Now where are you here? Here you can find like, I don't know, millions, but like, yeah, maybe a good million of pictures, which are beautiful, high quality pictures, as you see here. Some of them have a plus here, and this is for Unsplash Plus. There you need a membership, and probably need to pay some money for Unsplash. Otherwise, here on this page, people who upload their content know the terms and conditions and gave everyone else the permission to reuse them. You don't even have to reference back to where you found them, but it's always nice to do so, but you are not legally required. So if I want to make a presentation about Karlstad, for instance, which is very niche, you still find some pretty good pictures about the beautiful city of Karlstad. So that's pretty good. You find like 32, some of which are from this Unsplash Plus. So that's great. There are other sites like this, and if I just click on a picture here, just to you, and I download it here, download for free, then you say get a little shout out here and make it very easy, for instance, to give credit to Gustav Karlsson, but you don't have to. But of course, we, from an academic point of view, referencing, I mean, this comes second nature to us, hopefully, and still is. So it's always nice. But you don't have to, but they make it very easy. You copy and paste this and in your PowerPoint, for instance, and copy and paste the picture, and you're all good. Yeah, this is, for instance, here's one page where you can find pictures where you don't have to worry. Okay, and so make use of it in your reflection spaces, and I show you a few others. Pexels, you maybe have heard of. I put these links into the chat. Also the same here. Pixabay is another one. Here, everyone who uploads their work, they have some. We are fine with this. We're kind of giving away our copyright. So this is the easy answer. If you want to find millions of pictures, which you can reuse, start here. Don't go to Google picture search, for instance. This is very common also to do a Google search and then pictures. But then you You don't know. And very likely, and Google says this also, and they are copyright protected, and you, by copying pasting it, you're very likely to do copyright infringement. Good. Does anyone have other sources like these here? Sharing is caring. Maybe other sites like these? No? Yes? No. Here you find quite a bit. This is the short answer, right? The longer answer is now a little bit about Creative Commons, because as we said, all of this is like the internet gives us the opportunity, and digitalization gives us the opportunity to share, right? And copy, and making copies of work without that it costs much, without that it's reducing the quality of the copy, right? So we have this opportunity, but copyright, and it's maybe mainly lobbyism by Walt Disney and other copyright holders, make it very hard, and in making it harder to share digitally if we wanted to, even if we want to. People wanting reuse have to ask for permissions, as we established earlier. So, do you know, by the way, how long you have copyright on your stuff? If you take a picture, for instance, you automatically have copyright, right? If you create a nice PowerPoint presentation, you immediately have copyright. Do you know how long you have copyright? Yes, exactly. Great, Kirsty. Depends on where exactly. Copyright is not international. There is no international copyright law. It is depending on which country you are based in. But roughly, most of them countries have 50 or 70 years. At which point? From which point 70 years? Yeah, oh, you wrote it there, exactly. Lifetime plus. So if I make a PowerPoint presentation now, and I have copyright 70 years after the point I die, or my kids have then this copyright to my previous work. And this is it's crazy, and it's mainly because commercial rights holder did very well in lobbying, so that they can make a lot of money for a long time about the rights they have. This is a big problem for sharing culture. But so how can we go around this? Yes, we can, when we upload stuff, because as teachers, a lot of and academics, what we want to share is distribute knowledge, right? A lot of us feel like this, at least with our research. We want it to be reused and for the good of societies and everyone's well-being and the Earth's well-being or whatnot. And also with teaching, a lot of us, I think, feel like we're kind of giving knowledge away, right? And we don't have less knowledge than either. I know this is a very problematic view of teaching here and learning. But this is I think the underlying concept a little bit. So what if we want to make it easier for others to reuse our content? And instead of everyone having to ask us if they can reuse it, well, similarly as on these Pixabay and Unsplash, we can say beforehand, or at the point when we put content on a platform, for instance, we can tell others what they are supposed to do. And that is exactly where Creative Commons licenses come in, right? And I show you now other resource which you maybe have not visited before. Some of you might. Openverse, a search engine for openly licensed images, audio, and other content. Here on Openverse, you find works, mainly pictures, which are uploaded by people with a Creative Commons license. Okay, so they are easily machine readable and filtered, searchable. And I show you, going back to my example here on this page, if I search for Karlstad here, you get immediately, and now it only shows the top 240 results. There are many, many more. There's thousands of results. And I load some more here, and I walk you through here now the different Creative Commons licenses. And you interrupt me whenever you see fit, and otherwise I keep on going. Here, for instance, on this page, there's only works which are which I can reuse it in some form, where the people who uploaded the pictures told us that we are under some requirements. And here on the right-hand side, you have the option to filter the pictures here on the left-hand side. So here the first two, there's like, they are not really, even if there's a CC here, there's not really Creative Commons license if you're very technically about it. But here, these ones works here are in the public domain. Do I need to explain public domain, or do we all know what public domain is? Most of you, clear? Yes, I will. Thank you. So after the 70 years, for instance, right? I said I did a PowerPoint presentation, I die 70 years afterwards. The work is now free for everyone to use. There is no copyright on this particular work anymore. Then it's also in this situation, this work would be in the public domain. Yeah, I think in Swedish it's called Allemande, or it's in the commons, in the public domain. There's no copyright on the work, and I can do this immediately also, and put to make it more concrete for other people to know if a work is in the public domain. I could upload it with a CC0 license. Then if you look at here, I can immediately dedicate my work to the public domain. Then I say, I don't want to have a copyright on this anymore. Okay, so this is a little bit special case. I start with these. So if you want to see pictures which are in the public domain, you can filter them here, and you find all these pictures, and you can load more. And here there is no copyright on these pictures. Okay, and the remaining here fields, there are and this is these are the 6 Creative Commons licenses, which I'll explain now a little bit what they mean, and what they, if you're reusing a picture like with these, what you have to do, because there are some legal constraints still, but it's very, very easy. Okay, and this is a little bit there's a question in chat. I will come a little bit afterwards, because this is a little bit a different approach to the question, okay? Because now I want to show you stuff you can reuse. For other works, there's something, but I'll get back to this. Thank you. So CC BY, this is the most open free license. Let's filter here pictures which are licensed CC BY. And I show you this picture here. This is a beautiful picture, I think, which shows a very beautiful beach here in Karlstad. If I if I scroll down a little bit here, you find some more information about the picture, and also it makes Openverse makes it very easy for you to oblige to the rules here. And it has similarly as I showed you on Unsplash, like this field where you just can copy the text. And this is, by the way, how you're supposed to reference for Creative Commons licensed work. This is how you do it. The title of the work, Boomsterbadet i Karlstad, by Follow Your Nose. This is the copyright owner. Is licensed under CC BY 2.0, and it's always a link to it. So this work here, it's actually uploaded on Flickr. You maybe know Flickr as the platform for where a lot of photographers share pictures. Where if you were at the first Topic One webinar with the David White, we shared some pictures on Flickr from Kevin Kelly. Here is the original picture. Here, Follow Your Nose uploaded this picture, and Following Your Nose is basically the user here, the user account of this person who uploaded this picture. And you find also a link to the license terms which they used. And here it shows you. This is a little bit older license here, but it's still it's still connected to this work, and we can read a little bit what you're allowed to do in this license, where Follow Your Nose gave you all of us, the permissions. Follow Your Nose gave us these permissions for this picture. We can share, copy and redistribute the material, this picture, in any medium or format for any purpose, even commercially. So we allowed, all of us, the entire world, can print this picture and sell it. That's very nice. We can also adapt this picture. We can remix it, transform it, and build upon the picture for any purpose, even commercially. Right? And here, under these terms, and there is only one, we must give appropriate credit. Like as we said, what we're used to do, and this is how you do it. Copy this text. This is giving appropriate credit. If you look at my posts in the community space or some, you've probably seen this elsewhere. This is giving appropriate credit, and this is all legally sound. For instance, like for lawyers here, which we might have in the room, you could see the legal code. And if you're into this stuff, you can read exactly the terms and conditions, what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. I never do. I know it sounds, I know it's valid in court. It's been tested in court. It's legally proof. So it's no doubt about it. Yes, here's some question for later. Do you know what is the default license image created by generative AI? Okay, generative AI question. Yeah, I keep this also for later. This is a little special topics, but do all CC BY license have the same conditions? Well, all CC BY 2.0 have this licenses, and then there is, it's said here previously, notice this is an older version compared to the previous versions. The 4.0 of all are more user-friendly and more internationally robust. So if you would publish something, everyone would advise you to use the 4.0, the latest version of the licenses, because they've been updated, tested in court, and refined. So yes or not. So yes and no to this question. Do all CC BY licenses have the same conditions? In principle, yes. all you need to do is you can share and adapt under the following conditions, but there might be some technicalities then in the yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah. All right. This was back to the results. This was CC BY. So you can sell this picture as long as you then say this picture was by followed in your nose. Other very and these are from giving most freedom to reusers here, from CC BY then to CC BY NCND there's much more restricted here from top to bottom. We go through the different licenses showing CC BY SA stands for share alike. So for instance, I like this one, let's open this picture. And obviously you can do the same in the meantime in parallel for stuff you are interested in. My internet seems, I think one of our kids came home and is probably streaming videos right now, so my internet is a little bit slower now. Here, Karlstad from Klarabergsbron, a very beautiful picture, beautiful bridge and a beautiful view. Here it's the same setup of the page. Here's the picture. You can just get this image with a link to the original, or you just copy and paste it from here. Here you find all the information again. This is the Karlstad from Klarabergsbron. Here you find the picture, and in this case it is uploaded to the Wikimedia Commons. It is by Jan Ainali, and this is the user account of Jan Ainali. And here's the license terms. And this is going back to Creative Commons. And here it's explained again what you're allowed to do. And as the same as previously, you're allowed to share and adapt, exactly the same stuff, but now you have another term to adhere to. And this is maybe a little bit complicated. So if you remix, transform, or build upon the material, this is, if we're going back to this picture, if you do more than copy and pasting this and maybe put it in a PowerPoint presentation, but if you maybe write something within the picture or transform this in a different color scheme, or yeah, do like a kind of a smoothie with this picture, with other pictures or other material. If you do that, that means with remix, transform, or build upon for your work then, which you produced, you have to use the exact same license if you publish your work. So if you create a picture using with this picture, which is a remix or a transformation of this picture, then you have to publish your picture with the exact same Creative Commons license. This is what it means. Does this make sense? If you just copy and paste it in a PowerPoint presentation, you don't have to publish your PowerPoint presentation with the CC BY SA license. Yes. So going back to the search results, this was share alike, and then the next one is CC BY ND, non-derivatives. So let's take this one, another beautiful picture here. This is hopefully not a picture by Lars Lerin, because then it's getting complicated. We'll see what this is. Any second now. Maybe you're all on open version because of this. It's going a little bit slower now, but I don't think so. I'm using another one. I'm choosing this one here. This is a picture by Michael Wiemann, also on Flickr. Here the same. Here you get the copied text. Karlstad CCC by Michael Wiemann, licensed under CC by ND. So same here. We're going quickly through this. Here's the picture. Here's the user account, and here's the deed, which tells us what we are supposed to do and what we are not allowed to do. Here, you see maybe the difference. Here it says share as before, but here previously there was an adapt. This is missing here. This picture we cannot make any changes to unless we ask Michael. But with this Creative Commons license, he did not allow this to make any changes. We cannot crop here in this picture and reuse it. We have to use it as is. And so the terms are here. We can share it under the following terms. We cannot redistribute our work. So we can, of course, for private use, we can always do a lot of stuff. But we can, in a PowerPoint presentations, you can just copy and paste it, and then you just have to give credit as we did before, copying this little stuff here. So ND, no derivatives, no changes to the work. Makes sense, no? Good. And then there's combinations. Oh no, there's a third one. NC, non-commercial. So going, does that also mean one cannot use ND as a background with text over? Yes, this is what it is. My understanding what it means. You cannot make changes. Cannot have a text over, but you could have text under. But again, I'm not supposed to do legal advice, but this is my understanding of what these licenses mean. All right, where did I load this picture now? We're going to this one here. This is a beautiful picture of a shopping center in Karlstad. Here again, the same. We focus now on this NC license, non-commercial, and where's the non-commercial? Here you can share, adapt as before, and you can under the following terms, you have, as always, attribute the author, but in this case, you cannot use this material for commercial purposes. So in regular education settings, at least in Sweden, we could still use it, but for executive education, for instance, uppdragsutbildning, where people pay to take part of your course, you cannot. So with all the other examples so far, we could even sell this stuff, or if we have a company next to our work, we could use all these works under these conditions, but not this one and anything else which is published with a non-commercial. Yes. So, and then if we go back to this long list of licenses, these are combinations then on the previous ones. NCSA, non-commercial share alike. So if we look at this and go to the deed here, non-commercial share alike, we can share and adapt, but not in a commercial not for commercial purposes. And if we remix or transform or build like doing a smoothie of this picture here, we have to use the same licenses. Yep. Exactly. Yes, I come back to the AI stuff. And the other question, but and just showing you the last Creative Commons license, which you often find, or like in in research publications, you find often CC BY or this one. So we're looking at this beautiful pictures of the sunflower here. If I open in a new tab, it's much slower, so I open it here. So this beautiful picture has this deed, non-commercial, no derivatives. So you cannot use it for commercial purposes. For your own consultant company, you could not use this, and you cannot make any changes to this picture. These are the licenses. You find a lot of useful information here on creativecommons.org. If you want to do more about it, they have a great course, a certificate course, which I can highly recommend. It's 80 hours online course, really great if you really want to learn more about it. But here it's pretty easy. I think if you have any questions later on, you can always contact me and others. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get the basic idea, and you can always reread here on the homepage. I stop here for a while. And attending then to your questions also, the AI stuff questions. So my understanding, once again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not supposed to give legal advice. My understanding is that there is no copyright for AI created work. Only humans can have copyright, and corporations. But only human created works can have copyright. So machine created works, artificially intelligence created stuff has no copyright. It's all in the public domain. So you don't, when you create stuff with AI, you don't have to worry. And the companies who do create the large language models, they probably breach copyright in producing them, and that's what you heard in the news. But you as a user, you are free to reuse this work. This is my understanding. So you could then, of course, say, okay, then make my life easier. Just create stuff using large language models. And here we're coming back to a discussion we had before the session started. What is the footprint then, the ecological footprint while doing this? And should we create always new stuff? For me, I try to always find and reuse pictures. Only if I don't find pictures which are expressing what I want to convey, then I'm using AI created work, because there's a lot of energy being wasted in creating AI generated pictures. So just for fun, well, you can, if you want to learn what is possible and not. If you really want to use pictures for your work or whatever, I would recommend you. This is definitely my approach to reuse stuff which has always been created, where humans put some effort usually into it and did stuff. So I would lift them. Can we license a YouTube video, for example, an original song? And here to be okay. No. So. All right, there's several questions. Can we license a YouTube video? For instance, I'm not 100% sure if I understand this question. Can I reuse this? You can always embed YouTube videos, right? And if you're not changing the people who can see it, right? If you put it in your openly available blog, for instance, you can always embed YouTube videos. You're not changing who can see this. It was available for everyone on the internet on YouTube. Now it's available for everyone on the internet on your place. So that is no problem. even if it has an original song on it. YouTube checks does copyright checks when you upload stuff. But again, this is a little bit a different question. There was another, and then the second part, you're not. This is a good one. So Openverse, for instance, is a search engine. And as you maybe seen from the examples, the pictures were a little bit all over the place. The pictures were on. I'm sharing my screen again now. So you uploading it, and for instance, on Wikimedia Commons, you can upload works, and there, when you upload stuff, you get the opportunity to say to connect this work with a machine readable version of the Creative Commons license. So you're not uploading it to Creative Commons. You're uploading it maybe to Wikimedia Commons or to Flickr, and because there's a machine readable part to it, so there was this human readable part, which we call this is the human readable part. Then there was this legal part, and there's also a machine readable part to those Creative Commons licenses. And these means when you upload your work on Flickr, for instance, and then you say, I want to publish this work with CC BY licenses, it's machine readable, and this is why Openverse and others can find your work then. But you're uploading your picture somewhere else. And this, you have the opportunity also to indicate at YouTube, for instance, if you upload a video that you want to say this is Creative Commons licensed. If this answers your question. More or less. Yeah. Then you have to help me understand what you mean, Joanna. If you, yeah.
On my YouTube channel that
Sorry.
I have videos on private.
Yeah.
How can I change the license to protect the work? But I cannot find it, the CC license options. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I can share my screen. Do you see my
Yeah, I see
YouTube? So
yes.
if you say upload video, I need to select the file. Hopefully I have. Wait a second. This might take a second. I need to find a video.
It's okay. I can look for it later. I know.
But once you upload it, there is you need. I can send you a screenshot.
Now that I know that there's an option, I will.
There is an option, but it's not very good in YouTube. They're not very specific. Cannot say I want to use a CC BY license, for instance. You just it says this is a Creative Commons license. It's very unspecific.
Thank you.
Yes, and then there was another question, if I remember correctly. What do I do if I want to reuse a work from somewhere else, right? Yeah, exactly. It's something like this. Thank you, Kirsty. It's somewhere. There was one question in the chat, I think. Yeah, how should I proceed if I want to use a figure or scheme from an author, from a monograph or article, but the author person does not respond? Yes. So that, of course, this is now this is a special case, kind of. But depending what it is, you can also always redraw your the ideas, like this instances of the scheme is fixed. But if it's just a graph, you can just redraw it yourself often. So this is usually a nice workaround.
Yeah, but the question is that when you write an article, sometimes it's nice to, instead of quoting, just to share already created scheme or a picture or whatever, circles or whatever, just nicely illustrated theory.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to redraw. I want to use this work.
Yes.
And there is no possibility to reach the author or publisher, whatever. No one is answering. So yeah. So that means that if I use, that means it's illegal if I
Oh,
didn't have a permission.
It's very difficult to say this that broadly without knowing the specific use case and situation. So very unsatisfying answer, of course, and typical lawyer answer. It depends. So it's, but of course it's tricky. Maybe in that case, sometimes you can, maybe, yeah, I don't know. This is, it's hard to say. Yes. So for your reflections spaces, if you write on our reflections, just want to show you something, and would like to highlight one thing, which why would you encourage you also for your reflections to use pictures. So we're on the course homepage. If you go to individual reflections, there these other ones are publicly. In these posts here, there is a page. There's a picture on this post. With these two, there's none. And in these cases, I make use of a picture from Unsplash. I think it is in this case. So if we don't want to see, especially in the community space, all the same pictures, you can help by implementing in using a picture also in your reflection space. This will be automatically aggregated then as well. So this was a little side thing. But for your PowerPoint presentations and teaching and all this, and for anything else, hopefully you feel a little bit better equipped, know what you're allowed to do without infringing copyright. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In research, we usually have to confirm that we're not infringing copyright here. And if you want to publish videos for teaching and in open education context, or if you want to create open educational resources, then it's also, of course, good not to use works which you don't have copyright for. And yeah, this last thing talking about in a course for about teaching and learning. So we learned now about the Creative Commons rules. Think of you do the same now with a textbook you write. If you then publish this textbook with the Creative Commons license, you created an open educational resource. And if you want to find other open educational resources, which other teachers and researchers have created and published, here's a great resource where you can find 103,058 educational resources. And you could, Jonas, what is your particular field in healthcare in English?
Operating theater, maybe?
Sorry?
Operating theater, nurse?
Operating theater. And let's see if we find something. It's very specific, and we didn't practice. Here is a video which maybe could be of use, maybe not. But so if you create a new course material or need some other course literature, I would advise you to check out ERSI, for instance, where you can find a lot of open educational resources from, yeah, you can filter it here by, if you go to search, by language, by license, and you recognize the CC licenses here. You can also, if I only want videos, then you can filter it by video or by textbook. So a great resource for finding not just pick any generic pictures, but open educational resources for your fields. That's what I almost forgot. OER Commons, great web as well. On the topic page for topic 2, we have some other resources as well. So there's plenty. The advantage with ERSI is here, like in Openverse, it combines many different platforms and is a search index, indexing all of different open educational resources. All right, this is what I had for today. Any questions, comments? Happy remarks? I'll stop the recording.
Thank
May
you.
I say something?